Hello everyone and welcome to the PAX Legacy Save, where I will be filling out an entire save with new or renovated builds and better townies in preparation to the PAX Legacy Challenge. So I'm starting the save in the spring. In my story, in my head, because I don't think it's going to align correctly with the gameplay, but in my head, Jacob and Olivia finished college in that time of winter to spring when they're child into the save to begin the PAX Legacy Challenge. That's why it's spring. Now for the build, I didn't want to put a lot of pressure on myself when it came to making it perfect house because it is the first build of this save. So I really wanted to go easy on it, but I wanted to do something that I usually don't do, which is to make the house similar to the neighboring houses. Like, I will usually build all of the houses in a neighborhood similar to each other, but they are rarely similar to the ones in the world that are not playable. So I really want to keep some coherence in this save when it comes to the world. My goal is to do something that I've never really done. I usually take a single family, play with them for a while, and then I get bored and I move to another family. I never change anything in the world. I never play as the townies. I had been just a seasonal player for years until 2023, and I started really enjoying the live streams, charity events, and all of that, and I really wanted to be a part of that, right? So that's primarily what I'm here for. And this challenge is mostly for me to experience The Sims 4 in the way that many have experienced it before, really getting into it, really enjoying everything that it has to give. We know that The Sims 4 is no longer going to be adding expansion packs as far as we heard, and that many things are changing. I want to enjoy it as much as I can for the time being. So I struggled for some time to find the best matching wood color, and I realized that I always end up going for the darkest options just because they match better, even if not exactly, as to the lighter options that are definitely almost impossible to match. Since Willow Creek is more a suburban world, I really wanted to keep all the builds very family oriented. So this particular house is going to be for a thriving young single mom with twin boys that has many friends amongst her neighbors. She throws parties and get-togethers, and the kids are in the scouts, and they just have a very cute, very nice and soft life in a small, very close-knit neighborhood. That's my idea for this build in particular. The next video of the series will be creating that little family to include them in the build, right? That's really what I want to do. I want to leave everything ready for the challenge. So I'm going to be in every single lot either renovating or making a complete new build. And right after, I will also be working in the cast, either the townie or just giving the existing townie a makeover. When it comes to the landscaping, I will be doing more than what we see on the regular builds, but similar to what we have in the environment, because the environment is very nicely landscaped, but the builds that we can play are actually not, which will be a struggle because I don't really landscape a lot in my builds. I usually need an idea. I will find a picture that kind of guides me, and I end up doing it almost exactly. But this time I'm really just going to use what we have available in the game and what I can see from the environment to guide me more into how I want it to look. Every single world will be more like countries in the same world, so that my sim can just realistically travel amongst them, I guess. I'll probably end up using these flowers from the Royalty and Legacy pack a lot in this particular world, and maybe even in many others, because I really love them and they have so many options, different size bushes for the same flowers, and I really like that. I think they should do that more often. I'm really going to need some advice when it comes to the playground or recreation area outside of these types of homes. I usually do it with gameplay in mind, so I will add things that either entertain the kids or give skills. But in this case, I want to be more realistic, and I don't know about suburban white picket fence houses because I live in Puerto Rico. I don't see that often. So I really want some ideas. If anyone that's watching can provide any type of ideas, please leave them in the comments, because even though I watch Lil Simsy and many other simmers that make these types of homes, I never really kind of pay attention to that part. It's more the building that really gets me. And here I am struggling to find the individual stepping stones. I actually had to go into another save just to check where it was, and I was so frustrated that I left it here. So I'm going back into the save today and actually completing it because I got so frustrated trying to find that individual stepping stone. Yeah, and then eventually I found out that it was in the live edit mode. That's the reason why I couldn't find it anywhere, just so that I could see exactly where they were from. And I feel like I was gaslighted because I am so convinced that those stepping stones were a part of Love Struck, just a regular part of Love Struck. I am so bothered by it because I was so sure, but alas, it wasn't. It was actually in live edit. But I finally managed to get the entire landscape done. I changed some of the colors and added just a few different flowers, like accent flowers. And then I stopped recording for a moment and I didn't realize, so I missed a bit of the decoration. But we're going to go over the outside in a little bit, on the side of the house and the backyard. I really wanted to do something for the family. I want the environment to be green in Willow Creek, so I'm going to make sure that they have everything needed for that. I also wanted to have the house decorated for the spring. I know that the seasons are going to change and I will not go back to the house to change anything, but since we started in spring, I think it's only fitting. Now for the backyard, I wanted to give mom a corner to read to her kids or just to read by herself. So I really wanted to have a little table and a bench. So now I got pretty frustrated with the side tables for some reason, because why are they always so big and so massive next to any seat, anything at all? A little table for them to pretend to put something there. Trying to get something that matches is always the struggle. I think this is close enough. I like this skinny tall especially. I wish we had many more like these. Maybe I should add like a tray or something. It's because they're always receiving friends and neighbors. I got one. A tall plant out here that would also work very well. It doesn't clip. You know how some people have like the Porsche blues? Maybe they have a bunny, a Porsche bunny. It's always just watching. Would it be on a little stand though? Like she made it like a wood pedestal so that the bunny can be over the railing, just watching people outside under the wind chime, and maybe a hanging plant too. I love this plant, but I'm not going to overuse it by using it out here. I think that seems very normal. I love wind chimes. Let's add some ceramic wind chimes. Just have a couple of things out here just hanging outside, giving it that very cozy, very lived. I'm gonna use a ceiling lamp. This one will, I like that better. Maybe a woven rug. I love those too for the outside. I like the flower better. It's just very colorful. That's the purpose of it, to very lived. Now to the inside, I'm thinking living room, and because I'm going to have a fireplace, the chimney being in a different place than where the fireplace is just completely normal here, but I wanted to make some type of sense. So I really would have liked for it to be here, but that wouldn't make sense to have a chimney against the wall that goes to the kitchen. It's just a fire hazard on multiple levels. I mean, that doesn't really matter either. I can still have it there. So first off, I want to have a fireplace right here. Because why not? We know that they will cause a fire in the house so fast. Like as soon as it is on, a fire will spread out. We know this. But they look so cute though. And I think that Willow Creek is very it snows in Willow Creek, right? I rarely play in Willow Creek, so I really don't know, but I would imagine that it does. I think this is very millennial core, especially the black and white checkered one. It's just very Vans. I love that. And then we can have the mantle right there, just the TV. Yeah, putting the TV over the fireplace is, it never works. It always ends up being wasteful. Sacrifices that need to be made. Okay, so I think that is really what's going to define the rest of the room. So let's start with, as we know, we're lacking, but they have gotten better, and we have some additional ones that I know that eventually I'm going to be using. It makes sense for me that the curtains will be from the high school years back, because she is channeling an inner child. I'm going to give it to all of the big windows, and I'm going to see if there's anything that we can do for those smaller ones. I think that a pack refresher would be just a beautiful thing on EA's part. This one will look a little bit better, I think, and I will still need to do something to like make them tie together a little bit more. Yeah, no, it cannot be that close to the fireplace. They're gonna die. I can't have them dying so fast. Like, I feel like she's whimsical, but she's also considerate of the kids. Like, she's not imposing her entire style. She has like different things that they can all enjoy. I think that a nice rug like that is perfect, and it divides the room a little bit more. Back here we can have maybe a desk or something for them to do homework, and we can have the couch right up to here and here, and just make that L that will close this side. They have this huge space for other skill learning things. I could make it even into another little room, I think. Okay, so I changed the layout a little bit. I'm just going to have this be like a hall, so that the doors to the rooms are hidden out, and that way it just looks a little bit smaller out here. I'm going to have the entrance be through here, and then through here to the kitchen, which will have its own little dining area, and then the doors to bathroom, room 1 and room 2. Yeah, I'm definitely doing the bathroom here, even if I have to change the window. It just makes sense to have a bathroom that is more central. Even if the house is small, I think it's very usual to have that. And I would end up using these windows, maybe one on this side, one on the other side. I think that makes sense. I think that she would definitely go for the book nook couches. Of course she would. The pink one, of course she will. I still haven't chosen the paint, because I usually leave it for the end. I like to be surprised with how it ties everything together. So I'm doing that at the end of this room. Choose a good end table for that corner, and maybe a lamp. I think I want them to have space to walk through. Maybe this is just too big. Maybe she needs, like, what is it, living chairs. That just makes it kind of like cozier, and just, I'm still worried that we can have a lamp here and an end table here. I like that lamp, but I don't know if that's the perfect one for this. Now the end table should be round. When I'm playing in a house that has like a corner like that, I will add some decorations here, but I will usually leave it so that they can have the Christmas tree or anything else that they may want to have in that corner as the season change and the gameplay calls for it. I still think it is kind of weird having it empty like that. Maybe we should have some kids, the dollhouse. Definitely a dollhouse. Shrunken dollhouse, and having a dollhouse is a great thing for the kids. So maybe we can have another rug here, a more children inspired rug, maybe the rugs from the Enchanted by Nature, and something that the boys will definitely love to watch, like a dragon. That is something that kids would love. Just like I have a dragon rug right next to where I play. Maybe like some toys, because it is their house too, you know, and they will take up space, and it's good for them to have a little corner where they can just play. Look at that. It's adorable. Of course, a dragon, because why wouldn't they have a dragon if they have a dragon rug? I would have added a toy box, but they're so big. I definitely want them to have toys right there. Just a corner for the kids while mom's watching TV. They can just play right here. That is very normal, very usual. Coffee table. I don't want to use everything from the book nook kit. That is a great kit. It is so pretty and soft and everything matches, so it's really hard to get away from it. I'm probably going to use it here again, and then for the next one I'm definitely doing something to randomize this a little bit more. I want to add a clock, and also very important to have it be functional. Okay, so I want to have radio in a game. I know that the Wilson C-Pack comes in handy for this 100% of the times. I love adding the games on the mantle, just gives it a little bit more of a real type feeling. Of course, if the mantle doesn't have like stupid slots. I want one thing here, I want that here, that back here. Actually worked perfectly. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some plants here, just so that we can ignore that the railings are actually visible from this side too. We can ignore that by adding some plants there in the way to have it hidden. I'm going to add some books here. I don't think that I will be adding a bookshelf in this safe, or in this build at least. I don't think so. This ceiling lamp. Okay, it has this one. I like it, this one. I think we need either a painting or the portrait. I think that I'm going to go for the portrait, definitely. So that once they're loaded in, their family picture will be right there. And I like that. The only one that we have blank is this one. Yeah, right now I have a sim. I have a sim in the house. Now I can definitely go and look at the paint. We should definitely choose the doors. Let me just make sure that we have the doorway that would go with that. Okay, this one. There we go. No, maybe just a wall of like really nice pictures of them. This one, it would be a smaller one. Actually, that one's so much better for this. And the door to the bathroom. And here I can just get some frames. As for paint, I'm thinking either a wallpaper or stucco. I like that one more. Okay, and for here, I like adding the shoes, because that way we get to have some rules for them to take them off when they come in. Also the umbrella. I'm going to move this door to the side a little bit, and I'm going to add a table there in the corner. It should be similar to these. I don't think that the Book Nook kit brought an accent table like that. Maybe just one that she thrifted at some point when she was single and childless, and she thrifted this table, and it was in her first apartment, and it's good wood, so it's been with her the entire time. She basically chose this to match this. They don't match at all, but she figured this was too cute to let it go, and at least it was a similar color, and that's what I'm going with. As for decorations, I am a regular of the clutter kit. Actually, Pastel Pop could really work on this one, and maybe the Comfy Gamer too, because that's just how she is. See, look at this. This is perfect. This table already has like some towels and things like that. She doesn't have a lot of space, so she will have her workout things right there. I think that's kind of normal because she works out from the TV. Like, she moves the coffee table to the side, and that's where she works out. Cell phone, classic, of course. A hanging plant. Oh, perfect. Just enough whimsy. And maybe like a runner right here. A light fixture, like a wall light. This one matches. Actually, I want a mirror there, so I'm going to add this here. And I like having a mirror always at the very front of the house, but it doesn't match. Okay, this one, it goes with the metals in the room a little bit more. Not that it really matters ultimately, but I like it too. I will add some pictures around this, and we're done with the living room. First bathroom. Let's choose the plumbing. So I'm thinking that she bought this house and started on renovations. She still wanted it to be sort of modern, but still hold a little bit of that classic charm, I guess. You could say it would work so much better if this was right here in the wall. So we can have a shower tub combo because we moved the door to the side a little bit. So I think this toilet would go with it. It just matches great right there. Now that we have the most important parts of this, we get to decorate the bathroom. I also overuse the sleek bathroom kit. It's so hard to find anything that looks that good that is not CC. No, actually I'm lying. There's a lot of things that are very good quality that I still use a lot, but this one is just perfect. This should be the boys' bathroom. Once we add tile to it, it will look really pretty. Right now it doesn't, but it will. Might be floating, we will never be able to tell. There's also this. Let's just add some tile and see how this is actually looking. I wouldn't want it to be the exact same color everywhere. Probably just like that. Let's just add other things that will make it feel more like the kids' bathroom. Need some decoration or some trees. I found another one. This one has a lot of options. A couple of things for the kids to be, inspired to take a shower. I think this is missing a plant from the ceiling. Everything is always better with a plant from the ceiling. And if I add it right here, which is like kind of in the way, but not really, just filling out that space that we have. We need a mirror, doesn't matter, barely matches. Okay. Might be a little bit all over the place. Maybe the tile. I think it's the tile. The tile's it's not giving kid friendly. Maybe the one from Growing Together. Definitely the one from Growing Together. Even like this, it's already making a change. Let's see for the flooring. I think that's better. I think I used this one already, but it's really cute. I also added the height thing out here. Now, this hall, there's something very important that I want to add to this hall. This would have been perfect, but that's not what I need. I need it like this over here. And we can have this. Let's make this a small doorway. I want to have appliances in this little closet. I need a money trash can, which I will probably just like shrink a bit. I also want the washer and dryer here. If I were to play in this house, I wouldn't have them one on top of the other, especially if I have kids, because the kids can help with the laundry, or unless it is one on top of the other. If they're all on the floor, they can help with the laundry. Now let's add some detergent right here and a basket. I think that's good. And this can be painted in the stucco. I'm gonna just go ahead and choose a color for this. Well, that stone color is very nice. It just doesn't fit right here. One of these small lights. Really, that's better here. Some shelves. Like the coats would be here. I need to remember to add the hamper basket. Let's see what else we can add for decorations here. I have this, but it won't sit there. Okay. We need doors. of the country because that's where they're coming from. And they decided to leave behind the country and move to a more suburban site so that she can get better jobs and they can get really good education. They still channeled that a little bit. I was wondering what to do here, but I think that a creative corner is what I'm going with right now. I think they need that. I'll probably add some decorations that push them to be inspired more often. And I'm going to put their scouts board right there so that they can be on top of their progress. Adding a chair here for that too. A guitar. I want a keyboard. Okay. I think that's all that it should have. Maybe a violin, the kids' violin. I think it is pretty normal to have sort of the same lamps everywhere in your house, unless it is like a very specific special place. So them having this lamp is gonna go platinum in every single one of my builds. Okay, I want a rocking chair. I want to have something really comfortable. Comfort 3. It doesn't fit with this. I think this one does. Not with the wood of the painting, I guess. I don't know how much that matters really. I care more about the fact that I have to move something here. Anyway, she will put that inside her inventory in order to use it, so it doesn't really matter. This house will be up in the gallery, so I want it to be as functional as possible. Okay, so I'm going to use these base game counters. Okay, this one. And for that, I want to have the fridge right there and on this side too. And it will look like that, but once we have the refrigerator right there, it'll look fine. A good stove. Is this the same grade? I think so. Okay, so let's find a good range. If I add the cabinets, it will definitely narrow down what I will be doing with the windows and the window covering. That's what I want for the height. Everything else will be hidden behind that. So the rest of these windows are definitely going to be hidden behind it. No, it wouldn't work the same way. I'm not sure how the corner is going to work because these cabinets have a really odd corner one. They're very bulky. I think I might go with the high ones here. But this just might be better. That's actually better. Okay, so I fixed this wall so that the cabinets were not clipping anymore. I'm also going to remove this window and change it for one of these. I think it's big enough for them to have a bigger table. Another pack that I actually really enjoy is the home decoration pack kit. No, I think that is a pack. That one is a pack because that one is a game pack, if I'm not mistaken. That's cute. It's already choosing the color for the kitchen. I think we can have it next to the wall. I don't like it so close to the stove, so I would probably put it in the way of getting outside anyway. Okay, so let's add. All my decorations will begin with a rug. This is the one that has like a bigger one. Here it is. Is it too big for the kitchen? Probably that one was better. I want a plain one for the table, the dining table. Would have been nice like a square one. It feels weird. I mean, unless it's like that, then it doesn't match. No, I really want a plain one. This one doesn't shrink how it should. And I don't know how to use tool. I will admit it, I don't know how to use it. I had it for a little bit. I don't know how to use it. There are some knives and other decoration that will give inspired, and this is new. I wanted to use this because I haven't. I remember that the kitchen clutter brought something that it was like a station. It's a little bit more fitting with the color of the counters. And I have this on the side. That's where she works on her cookies. She's preparing a lunchbox for them. Her grocery bag right there. There's cereal. Timer next to the stove, of course. The seasoning has to be next to the stove. I need to leave some space for food prep because if they don't have anywhere to prepare the food, they won't. So it's important that we leave that. I can definitely have this be the center of the table. I'm gonna change the colors in a minute. I just need to add enough of them. And a cookie jar. Maybe another appliance here and a prep counter. Now for the colors. Not everything has to be blue. But almost everything has to be blue because that's the color of the kitchen. The kitchen has everything blue. Why wouldn't almost everything be blue? Maybe this has the wood that I needed. That's perfect. It needs a small appliance, a coffee maker, a kettle, and something that the kids can use. This space up here, I usually try to add other type of decoration up there just so that it doesn't look so empty. Okay, so maybe let's add some books. I know there's a new plant. It's from the bathroom kit, actually. Yes, here it is. I really like this one. I mean, she can be a girl boss and be selling like an MLM type thing and just have her samples up there. Just girl bossing. Does this have anything else? Of course, because they have different flavors. Duh. I don't think I have ever used this before. Yes, that. If I can find something else that I can make it look sort of part of it, that would be great. I guess that this would actually go in there. Okay, awesome. People know better for the reasons, you know. These are the ones that I needed. They're the rest of the pans for the MLM. And I'm gonna change the colors in a minute. Really sure we have like soda can. I think that maybe they'll have a dog at some point. So I'm going to add these treats right here. If someone walks by the door, they won't be able to see this corner as much as this one. So of course she will promote her things and like have some decorations here and there, but for the most part this is a utility storage type thing. See, a couple more plates. I'll probably change the colors of almost everything. I'm not choosing a color right now. I think this one will go really nice here. Everything is out of the way. I've seen some creators do this without any issues, without having to move. I think I may have done it actually. I did it. Those books will not be functional. They won't. I've had them like that in other houses and it's not functional, but they look good. I'm going to make painting and writing some of her passions. See, maybe I'll give her some fame. Maybe some fame so that as the PAX Legacy Challenge goes, we can have some interactions with her. Like, I really want to have a story for everyone. So if you have any ideas on how this character should be, please let me know. Okay, so now for the floor and the paint. So let's just see what I can do. I like the white flooring. It's too cool. I don't like that. Like that, it's cute. I think this is better. Let's just give some warmth to the kitchen with the paint and the wood tones. I think that's pretty good. I really don't need anything else. There's a little bit of green, there's a little bit of everything. Definitely some art on this wall. I know that I have because I use them often. It's painting a food, but not like that. It's more cartoonish. This one, okay. You get to have breakfast while looking at your favorite character in the front of a cereal box. Now, some lighting. Okay, so I really want to add the small desk. I don't think that I will be using the one from the pets pack. I definitely think that maybe this one or the one from Businesses and Hobbies. Okay, I really like this. I think this is from Tiny Living. Yeah, so Tiny Living was the first pack that I got because I really wanted the lot tray. I really like these desks. I think that they're very pretty. They're too big right now for the smaller house that we're trying to make here. So I think that I'm just gonna go with this. Let's get a dresser and some other toys. Okay, so I found this dresser is from Businesses and Hobbies. It is kind of fancy, but it goes so well with the wood of the bed and the desk, at least the chairs. Maybe I should change the desk. Maybe they have something. Businesses and Hobby. They do have one that has a closer red wood, and I really like that. I really want it to be closer to what they already have in the room. It might be a little bit overwhelming right now, but once I change the floor and the wall, it will be just fine. So we already have that red wood and the blue. Now we just need some toys, some kid stuff, so that they can be entertained, more like children's stuff. So let's add a vintage toy bar, maybe make it a little bit smaller. It's still functional, it's fine. Let's add the butterfly thing. This, the science table, so that you can start a fire in your room. Perfect. Okay, let's just raise it up. I think that it will still be functional. I will check that, look into that very quickly, but I'm pretty sure it's still functional. Okay, I filtered by some kid-inspired kits and packs, and funny enough, there's really not a lot that we can use here. I found the one. They're in the sky, I guess. I was thinking about a wallpaper, but I don't see anything that is kind of cute for this. I don't want any more blue in the room. Let's see, maybe something. I mean, that blue is so cute. The wood just stands out so much. We can really use the kids curtains. We can really use the kids curtains. I've never really used these. Why would anybody want that? What is that? Just white. I think that I like it just white, and I am putting them outside of a frame just so that I can. Oh, these are cute though. These are cute. Wait, I like these one better, so much better. They just look just calmer in a very blue room. Different things. They like music, they like sports, they like movies, they love to read. I'm maybe make this into a little corner for reading. They just really enjoy being kids because it's right over the science table and it just makes sense to me. You like sports. The last thing that I'm going to add to this room is actually a bookshelf. I know that I said that I probably wouldn't add a bookshelf to this. Actually, it fits way better here. Maybe I can add the family portrait thing right here. Okay, I'm looking for the pillows. The pillows are perfect for this. I like to add speakers to my Sims bedrooms. I know that this is a very controversial point, but I do. I like to have them in the room. I turn them off regularly, way too much, because it is unnecessarily hard to have them, but I like to have them. I think it's just a part of it. Like maybe a TV or maybe a speaker. You can choose. Now we get to go to mom's room. I am thinking that this is going to be where the bed is at. Like that's the center of the room. She'll have enough space, I'm pretty sure. So here she is a little bit more subtle. She will still have a lot of colors, but it will be just pastel, I guess. The hard bed is too flashy. But I know that the Love Struck kit brought another one that is not as flashy. This one. I like the mauve one. It doesn't really match with that painting at all. Okay, so I ended up changing the painting to this one. Let me add some lights in this room. Definitely will be using the nightstands that come with the pack. They match beautifully. It was actually the university pack, the one that brought this. And now we can add some clothes. Let's add some shoes. These would be here. Okay, so let's add some brush in here. I want a desk, but I don't want any of was just looking for clutter to add to this. I'm gonna leave it as it is. Maybe I'll add the shoes in a minute. Let me see. I think that there's one from Life and Death that I really like. No, from Love Struck actually. And it matches the bed and everything else. So I think we can have that here. I don't know if it will be functional right here. Hopefully it will, so I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm going to give her a computer. I would love this. It looks cute there. Here's the headset. The pencil cup. There. She would have maybe a white one. Fluffy white rugs too, because that's what would look really nice. I would have that. I think that one's really cute. Okay, that's actually from Book Nook. That makes so much sense. That kit is just beautiful. I really want to add this. I usually put it on the desk, but I think that it would be fine to include it here. She likes to keep herself organized. This, unless I have it. Okay, I have it in white. I like that. But I'm just going to make this corner like a little green corner for her. She likes plants, but she already has things outside. This is just for her. Okay, I really like, I'd like her to have this. So I want it to look like potted plants and not, oh, that is so cute. I wish it didn't slot there. Okay, I like this one, and maybe this one. Just a little corner for her. Maybe we can add from, like, she can't have the entire mess of things, but she can have a few spray bottles. Okay, so we finished with the corner. I don't think I'm gonna add anything else. Now for this other corner that we have, I'm thinking she can have a TV in her room, maybe on a good accent table. Let me see what we have here. Oh, I think that's perfect. That's perfect. She painted the top of it. She can have a bigger TV. I don't think that she would have games. I think that she would have this. Again, the amount of times that I confuse storage and surfaces needs to be studied. I really wish that this would fit here. Okay, it kind of does, but it clips really ugly. So maybe not. I guess, but they won't be functional. I think like that they will be functional. These fit. Okay. She has a box of storage. We need to add something from her MLM. Like, we need to have something that is more related to her business. At the end of the day, that's how she has everything she has. She is hustling. Oh, the blue ones. The blue ones. I wish they didn't put there though. Okay, so box, you know, she has a lot of things. She's been doing this for a while. Okay, so let's add maybe more books here. Maybe this. Definitely a first girly. I also need a mirror in here. I know that it will serve the same purpose that the clothes rack will, but I still like to have it. It's just a nice detail. Especially this one. This one is just really pretty. Maybe in white, just like the rest of the models in the room. So we have this in white. We still have one available lot right there. Should we add some flowers? Maybe. No, they look better here. I think the books right there. That's it. Perfect. Maybe we can add the. She would have that. No, and I mean the curtains. Curtains, no. Okay, I'm going with the Desert Lux one. And now we can finally do flooring and the wall. That's it. That's so cute. Okay, so let's go back inside the house and just give it a quick tour. Here we have a corner to receive and just leave anything that you need. Also a table for that. The kids corner, living room, first bathroom, got a laundry closet right here. Okay, this is just a creative haul. basically. First, onto room number 1, the boys' room. Okay, so we're on to room number 1, the boys' room, the reading corner, science table, toys, dresser, and their individual desks and beds. Okay, and I made their ceilings sky because it's just fitting with the beds, the cloud lamps. It's just fitting. Okay, now on to room number 2. I gave her the pink sky and I changed the lamp to the life and death lamp. As you can see, she has a very nature loving self, but she's still very soft and quirky and girly, very whimsical. She has an entertainment corner, her clothes, desk, and her plants. Over here, over the bed, And we have bathroom number 2, which is an ensuite. We don't have any decorations here, we just have a little lamp. That's fine. We have the tub and the shower. Now back through here and through here. Okay, and yeah, disappears. And we have the kitchen. Very cozy, warm kitchen. I really wanted it to look lived. So we have a baking corner over here. She does most of her prep here. The counter that we leave for prep is just for show. All of the prep over here. She has her tablet right there and her timer. Some things for the kids to just grab, and the rest of it. Up there, she has her stuff from, oh my god, almost everything is clipping. Actually, no, just the flower. Just the flowers. So up here, she has just some decorations, some supplements from her business, and some dog treats, which I still haven't added anything for the dog. I'm going to do that right now, because a dog is definitely happening in this family. And just other things for her to cook with. Now this corner is looking very sad. Okay, so I added some just basic food guidelines here, just to keep the fish meals fresh, the temperature for the meat, what to pair with each vegetable and everything. That's it. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a comment below, and please let me know how you think that our character should be. Please give me ideas for names or any special characteristics that you would like to see, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.